Okay, second grade, I told you that we were going to have a surprise folk song for you to do, and I meant it. So now the first song that you did back on week 1, that was our Tidio song. That was a folk song, American folk song from the state of Indiana. Now the song you did last week, Boots Shining Leather, was a folk song that was all the way from Hungary and has been around for several hundred years. This folk song that we're going to be doing has been around for a while, but here's the catch. We have no clue who came up with this. We have no clue where it's from. We just know that it's an American folk song, and American children have been playing a hand clapping game with this for quite some time. Now, the words to the song don't give us any clue as to what the song is about either or where it's from, because the words are only 3 words in the whole song. Bim, bum, and biddy. Yeah, that's it. It's just 3 words in the entire song. It's quite hilarious. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is sing this after me. Here we go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. That's our first part. Try that for me. Ready? Sing. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. Okay, here's the next part. Biddy, bum, biddy, bum, bim, bum. See if you can try that. Here we go. Biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. Excellent. All right. Here's the next phrase. Listen very carefully. And I'm going to sing a bigger chunk this time, and I want you to tell me what is different from what we just did at the top. Here we go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. What do you think was different about that? Yeah, if you said the phrase got lower at the end, you are correct. So our top phrase, we went up, and this phrase, we go down at the end, okay? Let's see if we can put those 2 phrases together. Here we go. Ready? Sing. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. All right, that was what we call the first section. Now let's get into the second section. Here's how it starts. Bim, bum, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. Did you notice that the only thing we changed in the second section of our line was the very beginning of it? Everything else is exactly the same. Only thing different is we're not going bim, bum, bim, bum. This time instead we went bim, bum. But after that, everything else was exactly the same. So let's see if you can try it. Here we go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. Now, we're going to sing all that again, but this time at the end, you're going to go down on the phrase just like you did at the end of the second line, okay? So let's try it. Here we go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum, bim, bum. Yeah, just like that. Very cool. All right, now let's see if you guys can put the hand patterns that go with this. So there's 3 things you're going to have to do. First things first, every time you do the bim, the word bim, you're going to clap. Whenever you do the word bum, we're going to snap. And whenever you do biddy, we pat. Like that. Okay? So, for example, my opening line would look something like this. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. See if you can try that. Ready? Go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. Let's do that one more time. Once you get the hang of the patterns, it'll get lots easier, okay? Let's try it. Here we go. Bim, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. Excellent. Now, here's where the pattern can get a little tricky if you're not concentrating really hard. Watch me very carefully. Biddy, biddy, bum. Watch that again. Biddy, biddy, bum. So, because I said biddy, I did 1 tap, and then I bum, so I did a snap. And then I did biddy, biddy, so I had to do 2 pats. And then I did 1 bum, so I had to do 1 snap. Let's see if you can try that. Here we go. Biddy, bum, biddy, biddy, bum. just like that. And then at the very end, we have a last bim bum, okay? All right, so I'm going to put that together. I want you to watch. Watch me very carefully. Bitty bum, bitty, bitty bum, bim bum. Yeah, just like that. See if you can try it. Here we go. Bitty bum, bitty, bitty bum, bim bum. Excellent. And it's okay if you're not quite getting it perfect. That's totally okay. Just do the best you can, okay? All right, now let's see if we can do the whole top line. But I want you to watch me do it first, and then I want you to do it after me. Now, if you think you're confident enough to go ahead and try it with me, that's totally okay. But if you're feeling a little unsure about the patterns, just watch me first, okay? So here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Now you try. Here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Now as you saw, I did a clap where I was supposed to do a pat. So I have a little messes ups every now and then too, so it's totally okay if you have a little spot where you have a slight mess up. Totally fine. We all do it. All right, now for our second line, it's exactly the same, except this time your voice goes down at the end. So let's try it. Here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Yeah, excellent. Now, the beginning of our next two lines should actually be a little easier because all we're doing is bim bum. And then it just goes on like the rest. Bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. So we start with this instead of going Okay, so we just take out an extra clap step. Okay, let's try it. Here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Now try that again with your voice going down at the end. Here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Excellent. Okay, now the hard part is putting all of that together. And I'm going to wait until after we're done doing the whole thing before I tell you what the game that goes with this is, okay? All right, so let's try it. Here we go. Let's see if you can do this one. Ready? Go. Bim, bum, bitty, bitty, bum, bitty, bitty, bum, bim, bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Now verse low. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Now, if you did that with me, you are awesome. I really appreciate you trying. No matter if you had a little mess up here and there, it's totally cool when you do the absolute best that you can. Okay, now, the way they used to play this game, and I'm not really sure we're going to try this because we're not quite ready for it yet, is you would actually speed up every time you restart the song. So by the end, each person that messes up is out, and then you just go faster and faster and faster until there's only one person left. Now I'm going to do it at a sort of faster speed, so I'm just going to be honest. I have a little trouble doing it at the super fast speeds. Yeah, a little bit of trouble myself. So I'm going to do it at a faster speed just to show you what it looks like, okay? Now, if you want to try it, go right ahead and try it with me. But if you're not quite sure, just watch, okay? So let me see if I can do it at a faster speed. All right, here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Yeah, so that was a little bit faster. Now, I think I'm going to try it at the super fast speed, okay? If you think you can try it with me, that would be awesome. But again, if you're not sure, you can just watch. All right, so here we go. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. I messed it up. Let's try that last line. Bim bum, bitty bitty bum, bitty bum, bitty bitty bum, bim bum. I think what it was is I lost my breath and that kind of threw me off in that third line. Yeah, it happens from time to time if you don't take a good enough deep breath before you go into singing something. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with the Bitty Bum song, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And there's a couple of new rhythmic patterns in here that we haven't seen yet in any of the music that we've done in first grade, if you're with me in first grade, or that we have done that talked about yet so far in second grade. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, so now that funny little song that we just did with our pats, claps, and snaps, here's what it looks like. You're going to recognize a few of these rhythmic symbols in here because we've talked about them in the past couple weeks, but there's going to be one symbol in here that you probably don't recognize, okay? Well, actually a couple of them that you don't recognize, and we're going to talk about those in just a moment. But first, let's start off reviewing the ones that you do know. So if you look here at the beginning of our song, here, let me turn my pen on. You know what? I feel like using blue today, so I'm going to use blue. Okay, so I'm going to circle our first one here. Who can tell me, it's a horrible circle, don't laugh. Who can tell me what this first rhythmic symbol is? Yeah, it's T-T, exactly. So the first part of our song is T-T-T-T. Bim, bum, just like you did a second ago, okay? All right, so let me erase that. There we go. Okay, so now our next symbol, you might recognize this guy from our song we did the very first week, Tideo. Whenever we sang the words jingle at the, okay, jingle at the, we called that a tika tika. Do you guys remember that? Tika tika. Yeah, because I heard you all laughing at it when I said it the first time. It is a tika tika. So tika tika, and that's it. So far we have T, 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 tika, tika. Now, what happens when I want to take those two and smoosh them together to make a new rhythm? Okay, so first let's examine this first one here. Now, a couple of things you need to notice about this one. One, it's 3 music sounds because each one of these little circles represents a sound of music. And this one, I've got one line going across the top, just like we would on a regular TT. But here I've got 2 lines on these 2 notes, similar to what we see on this tika tika over here. So that tells me that this can't be TT and it can't be tika tika. It's actually a combination of the 2. We're going to say T, because that's what we have in our first one here. Let me draw that above the T so we know what we're looking at. Okay, and then because I only have 2 notes connected with, what am I doing, y'all? My apologies. Because I only have 2 notes connected with 2 lines instead of 4 notes, I can't say tika tika, but instead, I'm simply going to say, let me get this drawn, I'm simply going to say T, K, and yes, that's supposed to be a K. Let me make that a little more K-like. Okay, there we go. So this is a T, tika. Everybody say that, T, tika. Now, if we were to do that a little bit faster, it'd be T, tika. Ready, go, T, tika. Because you have to fit the T, tika on 1 beat. I know. TT is 2 sounds in 1 beat. Tika tika would be 4 sounds in 1 beat. T tika, that's 3 sounds on 1 beat, with the first sound being the longer one of the 3. T tika, ready, go. T tika, ready, go. T tika. Excellent. All right, now, if we look here, the second one, just like that T tika we just looked at, but look at our third one. Who can tell me what's different about this third one? Yeah, it starts with the tika. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase my circle I just drew here, and I'm just going to draw this right above it so I don't have to draw it extra. So T,
ka. It's a better K that time. And then T. Again, I'm using my mouse, you guys. It's a little tricky to draw with this thing. Tika T. Tika T. Tika T. Say it with me. Tika T. Now, if we put those sounds back to back, you can hear the difference. T tika, tika T. T tika, tika T. So in the first one, T tika, I'm actually starting with my slower sound. And then my second one, tika T, I'm starting with the two faster sounds, okay? The more lines you put on top of those music rhythms, the faster those notes are gonna go. So this one only has one line. This one's got two. So that means this one's going to go twice as quick because we have to do it all on one beat, you guys. Every single symbol you see on this screen is worth one beat, every one of them, okay? All right, so I'm gonna erase all the ink. Let me get rid of all of it. Boom. All right, so we have T, 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 tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, 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 shh. Whew, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna speak the top line with me, okay? Like I said a minute ago, it is a mouthful. So let's see if you can speak it. You ready? We're gonna go really slow. Ready? Go. T, 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 tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, 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 shh. Excellent. And if you look at the second line is exactly the same as that. Well, what's different about our third line, you guys? What's different? Yeah, it starts off with tas instead of TTs. So let's see if we can say our third line. Ready? Go. Ta, ta, tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, T, T. Yeah, just like that. It is such a mouthful, I know. And our bottom line is exactly the same as what we just did. Now, you don't have to do this with me, but I'm going to take those rhythms and I'm going to kind of sing the melody a little bit with it like I did with Boots of Shining Leather last week. So listen. T, 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 tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, T, T. T, 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 tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, T, T. Ta, ta, tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, T, T. Ta, ta, tika, tika, T, tika, T, tika, tika, T, T, T. That's such a mouthful. It was all those words. But remember that each one of those sounds I just made were happening on one single beat, whether it was ta or tika tika or ti tika or tika ti. Either way I was doing it, every single sound that I just made, grouping of sounds that I just made had to occur on one beat. I know, pretty cool, right? Okay, so next week we're going to continue your exploration of really cool folk songs. And we're going to continue to look at these rhythms until we can put it all together. And I have a bit of surprise for you coming up in the next couple of weeks. It may involve buckets, something about pizza. So stay tuned for that. All right, but otherwise I will see you guys later. I hope you all had a good time. Make sure to go take your quiz. The description, you can find the link for the quiz in the description of this video on YouTube. You can also find the link down below this video on Schoology, and you can find the link back over on my website. Either way you get there, just make sure you go take that quiz, you guys. All right, bye.